You probably think you chose to click on this video. You weighed your options, consulted your interests, and made a decision. You likely feel the exact same way about the breakfast you ate this morning. Maybe you chose oatmeal over toast. But look at this decision tree. If you slept poorly last night, a model can accurately forecast that you, along with 78% of people with your exact recent sleep patterns, will opt for a high-fiber, low-prep meal. Your fatigue limits your capacity for complex decisions. You didn't actively choose the oatmeal. You fulfilled a pre-existing statistical probability. Elias Vance understood this better than anyone. At 38, he was a master architect of predictive behavior modeling. Governments and massive corporations hired him to build algorithms that forecast human action at scale. Elias's models dictated credit scores, recidivism rates, consumer behavior, and dating app compatibility. They determined who got detained at the border and who bought a mortgage, and they did it all with 96.3% accuracy. This cyclical flowchart maps out exactly how these predictions operate in the real world. If a model predicts you will default on a loan, you are denied the loan. You are cut off from building credit, which worsens your financial hardship and eventually ensures the default that the algorithm originally predicted. The prediction creates the outcome. Elias recognized that his algorithms were operating as enforcement mechanisms. A perfectly accurate model maps your future and then builds the systemic walls required to trap you inside it. Driven by arrogance, curiosity, or both, Elias eventually pointed his masterpiece at himself. He ran his entire life through the model. It mapped his next 10 years, plotting out the job he would take, the relationships that would fail, and even the exact phrases he would use when apologizing to his brother. Panic set in. Elias tried to break his own pattern. He skipped mandatory meetings. He changed his commuting routes. He actively made erratic choices and relied on chaos generators to dictate his daily routine, desperately trying to introduce unpredictability into his life. The system didn't flinch. The model updated in real time. Elias realized his resistance had already been priced in. This scatterplot illustrates what Elias called the 0 point. You can deliberately introduce chaotic variables, but the system instantly absorbs them into the statistical norm. It is the precise moment a person realizes they are entirely incapable of surprising the machine. The algorithm actually learns from the escape attempts. The friction of your resistance is the exact fuel it needs to recalculate and reinforce the prediction. Inside a perfect system, rebellion doesn't grant you freedom. It simply makes you an expected variance. If these models function as behavioral cages, why does society willingly step inside them and lock the door? Historical methods of control were brutal and overt. They required physical force, chains, and visible violence to enforce compliance. You always knew when you were a prisoner. Elias's architecture operates differently. It masks itself as optimization. We hate decision fatigue. When an algorithm recommends a movie, outlines a career path, or matches us with a partner, it feels like help. But the cost of that convenience is a slow decay of active choice. We stop inventing our own lives and settle into passively consuming a highly accurate, pre-calculated script. The most inescapable cages are not forged from iron. They are built out of our own deep, psychological desire for comfort and certainty. 6 months ago, Elias Vance disappeared. He quit his job without giving notice, booked a flight to a random city, and methodically erased his entire digital footprint. But Elias knows the trap he built. He knows the model possesses historical data on how dissidents behave. Every act of rebellion follows a recognizable pattern, which means his sudden disappearance was likely forecasted long before he packed his bags. In a world where your personal habits, preferences, and physiological responses are perfectly commodified, Elias recognized one remaining path out: total unpredictability. To beat a machine that knows your habits better than you do, you have to become completely incomprehensible. You have to break your own patterns so violently and thoroughly that your actions stop making logical sense, even to yourself. When reality is perfectly optimized, willingly dissolving your own identity becomes the final available refuge for true freedom. Which brings us right back to you, sitting exactly where you are, watching this specific frame of video. If the machine knows you better than you know yourself, is the machine lying, or are you?